know, one of the things you learn from the various careers you've been in is how lucky you are. I mean, I've never done anything, starting with selling the hot dogs at the zoo, you know, through milking the cow, through going to law school and coming out and practicing, or getting into the aviation business, into the retail business, retiring, getting into things I'm in now. Every one of them has been a treat. I mean, there's been nothing that I've really said, oh man, I wish I didn't do that. I was at Federated from November of 1982. We were taken over in 1988, and we assumed that when we were taken over, we'd all get thrown out, and you'd have to go somewhere else to find a position. But that didn't happen. We went through the bankruptcy process, got the company restabilized, and the rest of it is business history.
He is someone who's very giving. He has a great sense of humor. He's very loyal. He's a family person, and he's very committed to doing the right things. He's very committed to ensuring that others around him have the opportunity to grow and develop, and he could be a very strong advocate and person to have in your corner. I would say he always has your back.
Beyond his terrific professional accomplishments, what makes Tom great is when the community, his adopted community, has needed help, has needed leadership, has needed a bridge builder to bring people together from all walks of life, from all facets of the community. Tom is always the go-to guy.
I think one of the things that makes a good leader is the ability to see and the ability to listen. And then to take what you've seen and take what you've heard, and with a whole bunch of other folks, say we can do something about that.
In 2001, when our community had gone through a period of, some people called it civil unrest, some people called it riots, what Tom said was, our community is a good community. We can be a lot better and a lot more inclusive. Let's identify programs and people that we can build and sustain to create those opportunities for everyone.
So I moved in both as the chair of the chamber and the chair of United Way at the same time. The reason I was so critical, it turned out, is because it was an automatic way of uniting the constituencies that had to be united to get things done. So it was really good fortune.
And so whether it was the Minority Business Accelerator at the Chamber, whether it was community-oriented policing, and a range of other things, Tom stepped up, Tom stepped in, and really helped our community navigate challenging times, but I think frankly come out much stronger and much better.
Tom walks the walk, talks the talk. He says what he's going to do, and he does it. And he has that expectation for everyone around him.
When I think about what's most important in my life, first and most important is Mary Ellen, and then as important the kids, their spouses, and our grandchildren. I mean, that's really important. If I'd say after that what's most important, it's Children's Hospital. You know, and when you're dealing with an organization whose whole purpose is to change outcomes for kids, you know, to improve the health of kids throughout the world, that's a big deal. That's really rewarding. That's the gold mine.
About 5 years ago, Tom asked me to join the board of Cincinnati Children's. Tom's leadership on the board and his sensitivity and his commitment to improving children's health is clearly evident in every single conversation we have. He is engaged on the research side, on the patient services side, on the quality side, on the parent side. He is the voice and the face of the great work and the many initiatives that we are undertaking at Children's Hospital.
He's able to share his experiences and judgment and wisdom in a way that always feels supportive and helpful. When you've got a problem, when there is an issue, first thing he asks is, how can I help you? Thanks for telling me, how can I help you? And I think that's a real gift. And I think it's why he forms such strong partnerships, both in his board role and beyond.
And the lessons you learn from these little children, they really teach you what happiness is all about, they teach you what hope's all about, they teach you what life's all about. When I retired, Mary Ellen said, you gotta remember that you still have to leave the house at 7:30 every morning. And I said, well, suppose I don't have a meeting at 7:30 because I'm retired now. She said, well, there's benches, there's pigeons that need to be fed, but you're out of here at 7:30 every morning. Well, one of the things you learn is the opportunities you have to stay as busy as you were before, but to stay busy with the things you want to do. And that's great. That's a luxury. The sheer invitation to be broadly involved that Cincinnati has, it's just something that's so special that you get transplanted, you put down roots, and you begin to think like you've been here forever. You don't get up in the morning and say, oh man, wait till I retire and move out of here. Not at all. If somebody asked me what I hope my legacy to be, I'd say that making a difference in kids' lives, making a difference in whether it's healthcare or education, that's a big deal, and that's the future.